Let's go full screen at least, shall we? Oh, it's literally started like right away.
Balls out.
Oh my god, another gifted sub from Paying Artist. What's up, man? To the Claw as well. Holy crap. Thanks so much, Paying Artist. That's super kind of you. Anyway, we're live in this game. It's got Nosfa and Vengeur. This is map 1, day 1. This is both of their first matches. This would be Vengeur's map pick. He loves Awoken. I'm only guessing that, by the way. So Vengeur, if you've got like any, Vengeur in chat, if you've got any information in terms of like picked and banned champions and so on, like that's super insightful. Yeah, and you get to see Vengeur's forehead as well. So he takes a little bit of damage, but let's turn the sound up a little more, actually. Alright. I think that's pretty good for stream, actually. So there's been not too much confrontation in the first minute of play. And again, at this stage of the tournament, you're really feeling each other out. No one wants to make mistakes. No one wants to have the first loss of the day. So you're trying not... At the moment, it's not about, like, opening up the taps on the game. It's more about just trying not to make mistakes. Trying to stay alive. Trying to ensure that that control is 50-50. But Vengeur opens up the map a little bit now with that first rail. And he's going to be able to get the heavy armor. But he was safe the whole time just there. Nosfa just trying to make him pay as much as possible for that heavy armor. Ends up not making him pay that much at all. And Vengeur's just, like, is so good at this map. Second rail, that means you go for the next one. That's just, like, pixel perfect from Vengeur. Nosfa obviously wants to get away because he's like, he could be chasing me from the rockets or something like that. So you just gotta, like, hope at that stage. Otherwise, you get really cornered on the map. But as it stands, like, Vengeur is going to be able to probably capitalize even more on this. Yo, Kane Corp for the 15 months. Thanks so much, Kane Corp. What's up? It does run into the totem, which is usually ill-advised. So that Mega looks like it goes to Nosfa. Again, my timing on the items right now is kind of sucking / non-existent. That's such a smart rail angle to hold. Someone's jumping across. You know you're not going to be able to, like, react in the first frame they're going to move. So if you hold a delayed angle and they just jump into it, it's super nice. Gives you a chance to react. Sometimes the simple things are, like, fun to appreciate. So now it's just about getting heavy without taking too much damage. That's a really good rail from Nosfa. Actually, Nosfa's rails are pretty ludicrous at the moment. Yeah, he just needs to get out of there. I think he's pretty glad that he didn't get railed. And he can just get some HP. If I were him, I would have also thought about getting that rail ammunition. I think he hit a 100 damage rocket just then. That's pretty scary. It's kind of holding position. He's gained so much in the first 3.5 minutes. Now it's like holding onto that as much as possible. Make sure that you're even on the damage exchange, because as long as you're even, then you're going to be able to hold on to that control. And Vengeur's also been really decent at getting rid of totems, like in a timely manner. I talked about that probably way too much on the Sunday, but it's like going against Galena, you need to be on point going versus totems. I half expect Vengeur to have gone up the bounce pad just then, but it looks like he's playing a little tame, which is good. That was good LG from Nosfa, holy crap. Like, Nosfa hit a lot just then. Vengeur's LG was okay. I'd say not amazing, not terrible. But Nosfa was outstacked there. I don't know how outstacked, because I'm pretty sure he didn't have triple totems, but there is a chance that he did. But you can see Nosfa still doesn't have the stack art since that fight to hold on to his life enough. And he puts himself in like a hot spot there at the heavy, where he couldn't really afford to stand at that stage. It was, I think, an obvious move for Vengeur to move there. And an easy frag if he found Nosfa there.
Balls out.
Oh my god, another gifted sub to Sirius. You're mad, Ping. Thank you again, man. And what's up, Sirius? Is there a jump? I think there was a... Oh, there wasn't a rocket jump. Never mind. Nosfa's just trying to block this position. Vengeur's not so overstacked that he can just walk into any fight. So he has to respect a little bit there. And Nosfa's rails are like slightly underrated, I'd say. Hopefully not underrated anymore, but he's incredibly good with that weapon. Definitely his standout weapon. And Vengeur, I think overall he's been very good this game about not exposing him too much to rails. Even though Nosfa's hitting some good shots, I think it's more on the fact that Nosfa's hitting great rails and finding good opportunities for them, rather than Vengeur making like his age-old mistakes of like just always running around and leaving himself open for rail shots. And we see that Vengeur's like trying to slow the pace of play a lot. Oh, that second rocket doesn't hit. That feels bad from him. So he's just, after that, he's just trying to get the most he possibly can. I don't think it was necessarily bad. If he had that second rocket hit, then that becomes into a very winnable situation. But since it didn't, like, yeah, Nosfa capitalized. Don't think Vengeur has used Berserk at all. The rail switch from Nosfa is like a big no-no. Big no-no. I mean, he already got caught out there, and he got dropped off. I think he got popped off of the light armor spawn. Ooh, little fadeaway. But switching over to rail, just if you had rockets left, you never really know exactly from this point of view what the ammo situation of the enemy player is, but definitely not the best move to switch to rail. If you got shotgun, switch to shotgun. You've got rockets, switch to rockets. You got... God, I dare say tri-bolt would have been better. Bureau. God, for some reason I can't say that. No problem, my man. How long am I going to stream? Probably until my voice breaks. And then we need to plan the next stream. Because we're in round 1 of the games, guys. Well, there's 2 minutes left. Vengeur needs to make some massive mistakes to allow Nosfa to get back in. I like that he's not going for that light armor. You gotta get rid of those totems, bro. Like, there's no point, there's no benefit to not getting rid of a totem there, because Nosfa knows that he's in that part of the map. So it's not like you're trying to starve any information. The only times you would not take a totem is if you know that your opponent hasn't got intel on where you are. But that rarely happens in this game. He finally goes around. Because he's seen enough totems now to realize that, okay, he could actually overstack, and he really doesn't want Nosfa to be overstacked and have any more reasons to just push through him, despite what defensive shots he's pulling out. This is map 1, guys. I have got a map scorer at the top. And Nosfa, he's kind of got to go through to what he can. Get rid of that totem, thank you.
1 minute warning.
Has he got the right timing on heavy? It was very weird for him not to go towards connector to pick up the light armor. But I guess he's won himself a major item from that. I just feel like he would have won himself a major item no matter what. But I think that's what like separates these players from simpletons like myself, because there's underlying other decisions that add up to, you know, why they do what they do. So I can't really call it a mistake because I don't really know what he was trying to achieve. Some things, though, are a little more obvious. Got a 10-hour bus ride and we make it more bearable. Oh, damn, 10 hours, man? Hey, we'll see how long I can go for, though. I don't know if I can do 10 hours, though. Vengeur drinking water on stream before the game ends. Does that remind you of anything? Because of the most amazing BM that we have ever seen in Quake. No, nothing's wrong with it, Vengeur. I'm just laughing at the fact of what Nosfa did on Sunday. Oh my god, another gifted sub from Peng Artist. What up, dude? To Sparty as well. Oh my god, Sparty. I'm going to say, pausing this. Do you know how difficult it was to travel with you on Monday night? I was traveling with Ketchup and Sparty, and seriously, that's like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life is traveling with Sparty on Monday evening. I don't know how much information I should really divulge, but let's say there was a little bit of a post-QuakeCon event going on at Jahar's house and Zero's house. And I can't put up the picture on screen. I'm gonna show the picture that I put on the channel. I know this is like the only way that you're gonna see it. Let's see if I can make it work. And I'm deliberately like masking as much information as I can here. I wonder if this is gonna work. Probably not. I'd have to go like full screen again. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Sod it. This picture here. Guess where Sparty is in this picture? Oh, you see that person behind the desk? I got nothing, guys. Let's go on. Let's carry on with this this VOD review. I'm sorry, Sparty. I love you. Now I feel bad because Sparty's gone silent in chat. Please be there, Sparty. Nothing bad with that. Just saying that Ketchup and I went through security as fast as we could and met you the other side.
Prepare to fight.
Anyway, we go into map 2. Vengeur is a map up at the moment. He won his map pick. We're now on to Nosfa's pick. Nosfa's picking Nyx versus the Visor. I mean, a lot of people think, oh, the Visor's got the advantage because he can see, like, through the Ghost Walk. That is true, but also Nosfa's got a mobility advantage with Nyx, with the wall jumps. And you don't always have piercing side up, so it's very possible to still have defensive Ghost Walk plays and offensive Ghost Walk plays. But if you time it incorrectly, then obviously a Visor can get good advantage off that. Anyway, it's been a very straightforward start. Vengeur hadn't gone to the railgun yet, so it's on Nosfa to really make it annoying to pick up the railgun, but I imagine Nosfa's gone over to the Mega Health again at this stage, so it's only taken one rotation for Vengeur to get the rail himself. And a little shake there, realizes, yeah, it's a piercing sight rail. I should have been hitting that one. Ooh, that was spicy. That's also spicy. Oh, the Ghost Walk came in the nick of time just then. He's now like dueling with Nosfa's rails. And the reason he goes down to the lower light armor instead of the upper is because he could have died with another rail duel, which he's not willing to pick like fastest finger first against Nosfa at this stage of the map. Not bad, LG. Not bad, LG. Again, for the brief amount of time that he had to see him. And the angle. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, sometimes the hardest rails are the hard rails are the easiest ones to hit. There's no logic to it, but it's just because you feel like, hey, well, doesn't matter if I don't hit this one because I probably shouldn't anyway. And then for some reason you alleviate the pressure and you just land them. He's looking for another chance. Rocket. Close to connecting. Vengeur's got a good stack advantage at the moment. And he's trying to push through and make advantage of that, but ends up doing a total of 12 damage. 24 damage is alright. But it's not an issue because he's got himself the mega health. And I think... Oh, that's a nice little speed boost he gave himself. The rail entry. Oh my god. What are these rails that he's landing? He seems so close to hitting the next one too. I would get those hourglasses if I were him, actually. Nosfa's in a lot of trouble. That's a really, really good defensive rocket. And he's going to be able to survive that. The thing is, if he went for the hourglasses earlier, then he would have probably been able to secure the kill by now. That was a cheeky rail. And Nosfa couldn't afford to take that. That last rail sealed the deal. I just feel like, in terms of optimization, Vengeur maybe could have got the kill like 10 or 15 seconds faster. What's wrong with my emotes? Yeah, and another reason it's good to be denying these hourglasses, it's not just for yourself, but denying them from Nyx is always a good thing to do. Because otherwise, with those 6 hourglasses on the map, Nyx can kind of just make the defensive or aggressive moves and kind of get away with it. That's a really nice rail shot. This has opened it up again. A drop down at this stage is absolutely welcome. Was Ghost Walk used this then? I think it might have been. Yeah, it looks like it was. These are like ridiculous rails that Vengeur's hitting. Like, he's creating so many opportunities for himself with this. And you know, although you could have the worst aim ever and you could still win against pros, like, you build brilliant opportunities with the rail shots. Like, one rail can turn the tide of a game. I don't know how much damage he's doing with the railgun, but it just feels like it's a lot. I mean, I'd push in at this stage. Force out the Ghost Walk. The thing is, Ghost Walk may... I guess the reason he wouldn't is because Ghost Walk may have already been used. Or, if you go up there and he forced the Ghost Walk, he could race you over towards the mega health. Even though it's not spawning.
5-minute warning.
Now Nosfa's heard that Piercing Sight's being used. He's still hitting these rails. Like, the fact that Nosfa can't get any unreturned damage is really stressful for him. And that's the only way that, like, the Nyx pick is going to be worth it, is if he can put Vengeur out of control. Vengeur hasn't been over towards the heavy in like a minute, I think. So he's kind of having a guess at the moment of heavy timing. Like, it's a big guess, and it's still not up. Like, there's been a massive delay. Vengeur's been here over 10 seconds now. Like, he's just thinking, like, it must... Look, exactly. As soon as he leaves it, it's up. But at that stage, like, he had been there so long, like, it was going to spawn imminently anyway. I was like, you're trying to calculate the timings in your head. And, you're kind of assuming there that Nosfa is picking it up within 5 seconds of it spawning each time for all those occasions that you didn't see the heavy being picked up. Forcing out the Ghost Walk is nice. Getting rid of those hourglasses is nice. That rocket is excellent. And now you got Piercing Sight. But this should be not... Okay, the LG is really sick. And he misses that. Okay, Nosfa was more stacked than I expected. A rail would probably still kill Nosfa. Wow. Yeah, and Vengeur is pissed there that he didn't get the frag. There was some really nice dodge from Nosfa, and he even manages to get, like, the shots that he needs in time. So there was a rocket jump there? It looked like there was a rocket jump into Ghost Walk. Now there's a bit of stress. And Nosfa should have heard that rail, that piercing sight, sorry. So I don't think he really should have pushed at an angle. But he'd barely pushed it at that stage. He showed like a pixel and Vengeur managed to hit it. Oh my god, I need to sneeze so bad. Excuse me. Just had to look at the light for a second. I just want to say that it's not really possible at this stage to turtle the game versus Nosfa on Nyx. You still got to try and play the items a little bit. And he's just saw that Ghost Walk was used. Good effort with a defensive rocket. Doesn't hit too much, but he gets out successfully. So that last frame basically on the piercing sight was really good information for him. So if Nosfa timed that a little better, then it could have changed. Oh my god, Nosfa should be on nothing right now. And he's chasing this kill. This should be an easy one. Yep. And after any like little hiccup that was happening before, he's regained confidence. And Nosfa, I think... Nosfa did way too much damage there, but... I think Nosfa feeling the stress. And Nyx, without Ghost Walk, off the spawn, is just... It's possibly one of the worst situations to be in against someone who's got control. And who's hunting down spawn frags. Because you got no weapons to defend yourself. Sure, your mobility's okay, but you're so squishy at that stage. Definitely a sneeze, Maestro Gaming. We won't talk about that rocket jump. Well, at this stage now, Nosfa can't really win the game again unless there's a miracle. So Vengeur can just coast with control. We'll maintain the score differential. He can even have a little bit of fun if he wants. Just trying to see if he can get a little extra reach on that. But that's GG, and I think this is a good way for Vengeur to open up the tournament for himself, because Nosfa's a solid player. And it's the GG right there.
You win.
The GGs. I want to have a quick look at the scoreboard if Vengeur's allowed us to see it. Okay, he has. So... 63% rail. Like, that in itself is brilliant. Like, you could see how many amazing rails he was hitting. Nosfa hitting 30%. I mean... Again, if someone's railing you that hard and you're not able to fight back quite half as much as him, that makes the game very difficult. It means you have to do more damage with the other weapons. And as you can see, there was nearly 1,000 damage differential on that. I can't actually see all of the items taken, but there's a lot more heavies taken. That's for sure. And I think the Megas would have at least been even. And only less than 400 rocket damage for both his players. That's a 300 rocket damage for Nosfa, so it was not much of a rocket game at all. I feel like both players could have had a bit more spam, and Nosfa needed more spam. Anyway. I think that concludes the round 1 games I'm going to be casting. Holy crap, we're like... How am I going to do this, dude? This is... There's so many games here. Alright, we got the next round, which has got... Chain beating Sparty 2-1. Dramus Kilson. Dramus Kilson might actually be worth looking at, because Dramus does actually get a map off of him. Sygib 2-1 on Garpy. Rafa Cooler, I think, is worth looking at. There's a lot of good games in this round. So I'm going to look at Rafa Cooler to begin with. QCP.